This project that we call Bear first came to us through DDB Vancouver. They had this really nice story about this bear going through hardship and being sort of forced into his cave and all this. The interesting challenge on this spot was finding a balance between stylization and realism for the bears. We didn't want to go too realistic and end up with a bear that people think is just a bad attempt at a realistic bear. We wanted a bear with more personality, sort of bigger than life, and that really stands out. So that's what we were working for.
For this project, we really had a chance to use Houdini in more aspects of the pipeline that we usually do. Basically to go beyond just effects and move on through character effects and also some environment building and full lighting and rendering.
The hair on the bear, which we knew right away had to be top-notch. We'd done hair in the past, but we knew this was a different game. It had to be almost realistic, in a sense better than realistic, a realistic level of detail, but on a bear that is stylized.
My part on this project was the fur, so I had to groom the fur and after simulate it. It was really great with Houdini because with all the clumping, the ways to do the fur, it's a good way to shape hair and to groom some guides. So it helped me a lot to create shapes and realistic looks with this. And it was great to have a software where the hair and the snow simulation could interact together.
We knew also by having a very detailed bear that's almost real, we needed it to move correctly, so the animation was a big thing, but also the simulation was really important. What the skin was doing, what the fur was doing, everything going on underneath was really important to selling the character as a living creature.
We had to create this kind of sliding motion of the skin because fur is heavy and the bear's skin tends to slide over the muscles. So we wanted to create like this kind of organic tissue, but we didn't have the time to dig into the muscle system and all the FEM stuff. So we ended up using the cloth solver for this. We just duplicated the skin and created like a cloth layer over the rigid skin. So it kind of worked. And we added some additional secondary jiggle with chops.
On the lookdev part, we used a lot the Houdini digital assets. On the lighting part, it was really easy because with Redshift and Houdini, it's always simple to export the objects that you want in the path that you want. And in compositing, it was really flawless. We didn't have to do a lot of technical things to achieve a good look.
We did a whole bunch of really interesting effects on the character, on the bear character, the fur, the skin sliding and all that. But then there was also all the effects we had to do for the environment that the bear is living in. We had to do some snow interactions, those were really interesting to do. And falling snow as well, the stream. We had the ground when the bear sort of breaks suddenly, some twigs that he interacts with in his cave, breath animations and steam.
There was this story challenge where you're having a bear to tell the story of a lottery commercial. We tackled this subject and it called for a very specific shot that the creative had in mind. It was a challenge that normally in a commercial environment of production you would try to avoid. And we knew that with the tools that we had, with the team that we had, we could tackle these big challenges.